Hello, good morning, everyone. Happy second week of the year. It's Tuesday, January 9th, and this is the Plant Based Morning Show presented by Compliment. Lovecompliment.com is the place to go get those vegan supplements. And there might even be some kind of deal going on right now. I don't know. Doug will have to tell us about that. I'm going to add Doug in here to Instagram, and then we will be off and running in this second week of the year. To fill some time, my New Year's still good. Haven't really set any goals or anything, but I just have a good new mindset. I don't know, just feeling good. There's Doug. How's it going, Doug?
Hey, Matt. How's it going? I look kind of weird lighting going on here.
Yeah, it is a little weird. You're right.
It's very dark right now. We are in the middle of an epic storm at the moment. Lots of rain. I think they're calling for 3 inches of rain this morning alone. So yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, we have the same storm. I didn't realize anything was coming, and then we got an email yesterday afternoon saying school canceled tomorrow. It's all remote learning because of high winds and rain and everything. So we went and got a couple of ingredients so we wouldn't have to go out today or tomorrow. They may even have off tomorrow, I heard. So it was crazy. I just didn't know anything was coming. Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't hear anything about it. So then it's very strange to suddenly have a snow day, basically.
Well, it's a perfect day to be stuck inside in front of a computer because you have 4 hours left in our Compliment site-wide buy two, get one free sale going on right now.
Look at that. Any product in the store?
Any product in the store with the exception of Insight. You can buy two and get a third free, or you can mix and mingle if you want to buy an essential protein and a greens. You get one free.
Equal or lesser value? Yeah.
Okay. Equal or lesser value. Yep. Good disclaimer there, but we didn't. but yeah, no. So now is your chance to take full advantage of the sale, the site-wide sale going on now, and it's no better time to stock up on those nutrients heading into the new year than today.
That's right. Like I said, early year vibes. Doesn't hurt to get stocked up with the right supplies there. Yep. All right, people are checking in. Kelly K, Zen. I don't know Zen, but good morning, Zen, to you as well. Sarah Slimp. Kelly K asks for my cheese recipe. I'll give that in just a minute. Mr. Jeffrey says, good morning, listening from his run. So he's taking a page out of whose book is that? Who's the one who always runs? It's not Kate A. Rivercat. She's here. I shouldn't be blanking on her name because I know her name all the time. Leslie Knight?
Leslie Knight. She's our runner.
I think so. Yeah. All right. Emery and Kate, everyone, good morning, everyone. Good to see you all. My chat is working again, which it wasn't last week, so that's good. My cheese recipe is our vegan sprinkle cheese. That's, I assume, the one you're referring to because I don't really make other cheese than that. 1 cup of cashews, 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 3/4 teaspoon each of salt and garlic powder. And you just mix it up. And if you get a Ninja, I don't know what it's called, Ninja Express or something, which I now have because my mom got me it after she's heard us review it on the show or mention it in a gift guide. It does a really nice, consistent grind. It's great. So highly recommend the Ninja Chopper thing. Which I also now use for chopping onions.
We still use that cheese recipe a lot.
Yeah, it is definitely is a good one. Works on a lot of things. All right. What else? What else you got here, Doug? Anything else weekend related?
Yeah, I've got a couple things, but did want to call out that Kayla M on Discord, you'll get to appreciate this. She went to Madison Park and did the tasting menu at 11 Madison Park.
Oh yeah, okay, that's good. And what did you say about it?
She said it was great. She gave pictures of every dish, and they all look fantastic. She said it was quote amazing. The food was amazing, but I don't know that I'd pay the price again. Definitely worth trying at least once.
Yeah, I would imagine, like, even if that was a great experience, you still wouldn't go do it again. Typically, it would just be
the same experience.
I mean, nothing's worth that twice. It's just it's not about getting good food. It's about being entertained, and it's like seeing a movie twice. You don't do that usually, especially not if it was $600.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, then it's different.
All right. So I do have some news from the weekend.
Okay.
Last week I shared that I was gonna I had my 5K goal, right? I wanted to run a sub 19-minute 5K, which I've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
I only run a handful of sub 20-minute 5Ks.
And I said that's too fast. You're never gonna do that.
You said never gonna do it, and you know what? I did it, baby. No, I'm just kidding. Not even close. I ran my time trial. I ran my time trial, and I'm way slower than I thought.
I think you guessed you'd be around. You said under 21, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking around 21. It was kind of what I was anticipating.
Okay.
And it was like right under 23. It was pretty slow.
That is pretty slow.
And so,
which is amazing considering you're in like pretty good ultra shape. I mean, you just ran a race not what
I know. You know, I think so. I did it like after work on Friday. I think there's a possibility that I could have, run it faster if I had like properly, done my morning routine or something. But not that much faster. I mean, like I don't think that slowed me down that much. And and the whole time, the only thing that I had running through my head was you saying and everyone agreeing that 5Ks are the worst. Because I just kept thinking, like, why am I doing this? It's so dumb. Like 5Ks are the worst. Why am I doing this? But so it was kind of a discouraging start, but it was maybe a little bit motivating as well. I did a strength workout on Saturday and then a fartlek workout on Sunday. Recovered yesterday and go back out today. So we'll see. I think that sub 19 is probably not a 6-week project at this point. I'm running a sub like barely a sub 23-minute 5K now. So we'll see. I'm gonna give it a go. We'll see what happens.
I'm surprised that you run that slow over 5K actually. Because
right. Me too.
Because when I was in 50 miler mode, and I was not ever as fast of a 50 miler as you were, I could run I'm sure a 21 or 20 without killing myself. Is it just a different type of fitness? Or I mean, it seems like it should be linear, right? Like if you're a faster ultra runner, you should also be faster all the way down to that distance. So I guess I'm just surprised that you can be running 50K or 100Ks, 100 miles on hills, right? Not like they're easy ones.
Yeah.
And not have the fitness to get a 22.
I know. And like
it just seems weird.
It does seem weird, which just makes me think that maybe I could have done it better if I was also coming off of a week of like no running and I just kind of went out there and did it. And I mean, so like maybe what I should do is redo it and see if like actually do it well.
Right.
Maybe. And
but then you got to suffer through that again.
Yeah, I know. Then I got to suffer through it again. Or maybe I'll just have like maybe I'm kind of setting myself up for major success. Have a really bad time trial. Think that I'm really slow. Work hard for 6 weeks. And come back and shape
progress. Right. It would be encouraging, motivating. Do you think it's like, I mean, is this a big opportunity to improve as an ultra runner? Like, let's say you could get yourself down to a sub 20 with a bunch of work, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not that much work, but whatever, the 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever. I mean, that's a huge improvement. That's like a 15% improvement in your time. Would that have an impact then on your ultra running training and stuff? Or would you think it just wouldn't matter?
I don't know how much it would matter, really. I mean, it would probably, the strength would help a little bit, I think. A little bit of power, but I don't think it would matter because it's just like
because ultra running is really about not falling apart at the end, right? It's about keeping your
exactly
feed and your eating and all this, and that is nothing.
I've gotten really good at doing a very slow shuffle for a very long time, and that's what I'm good at. If I'm good at anything with running, it's that, and 5Ks are not that, especially fast 5Ks, but I don't know. I think to be a more well-rounded runner, I think certainly it would help if I did some of this stuff. And but it was not fun. It was not fun. Yeah. Now I was thinking. So all right, at the end of the 100K, which took me 18 hours or almost 18 hours to run, it not fast. My last couple miles were sub 9 minutes. Like I was really booking it at the end, and the fact that I could run 63 miles and run sub 9-minute miles, but like trying to run a 5K and not being able to really run like sub 8-minute miles, kind of ridiculous.
That is funny. Yeah. So you had sub 9-minute miles for your whole time? Is that what you said? The average was that time?
No, the last couple
was your
miles.
Final miles. Okay.
Yeah, the last they
still
were
pretty good.
downhill, but I was I was just moving it down to the finish.
Right. Yeah, that is fun. That is really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you told me on Saturday I have to go out and do something, I have to either go run as hard as I can for a 5K, like I have to not PR, but do that, or I have to run 15 miles, but I can take as long as I want to do it. I might pick the 15. No, I wouldn't. I'd pick the 5K to get it over with. I'd pick the 5K to get it over with, but it's not that obvious a decision, right? Like a comfortable pushing it just a little bit half marathon, I feel like is more pleasant than a 5K going for it.
Yeah.
And of course it is, because you're at a slow pace for 2 hours or whatever.
Right. You can hang out and and Matt Tolman ruined it for me because I was listening to some music that was jazzing me up and I was feeling really good. I had it in my headphones. He called and I ignored the call mid 5K, but I turned off the music. And then so like for the second half of the 5K, all I was thinking about was you were just replaying in my head about how painful it was going to be. And it was, in fact, that painful.
Well, yeah, too bad. Sorry about that. My apologies, but I was correct. I was right.
You're right.
And we all knew it. No surprise. All right, good. Well, good for you. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. Whatever. It's what it is. Yeah, I look forward to the progress. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to keep you posted because I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to do it.
Good. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. Only bit I have before we start is this. Did you hear about this Tetris guy? I know video gaming is like one of our subtopics that we do get into now and then. This kid who beat the Tetris game.
Yes, I did see this. This is pretty. It was a
couple of different places they made it. Yeah. I'm a little bit just skeptical of the whole thing because
you're skeptical.
2 reasons.
You're denying. You don't believe that he did it?
I believe he did it. I just don't believe he was anywhere near the first person to do this because he didn't. There was no ending to the game, and I always wondered, is there an ending to Tetris? And people used to say that there was, but that no one ever saw it. And so anyway, he got to a point where the level 157, and I've definitely been to level 130, 140 before, so it's not that much higher. The game doesn't get beat. It's just the scoreboard fills up with 9s, and there's no more room to get more points. So the game crashes, and you get a kill screen. Here's what I don't really understand. The game's been out for. I mean, I had this on Game Boy when I was in. It must have been 1989 or something.
Yeah,
so
it
I
was
was
probably on an arcade machine before that, right?
Probably.
Maybe not.
Yeah. No, I think it was. So that was 34 years ago. And back then, I was getting up to into levels 130, 140, and I was a kid, right? I was a dumb 9-year-old. I don't understand how in 35 years, no one else except for this kid got to level 157. It took him 39 minutes to do it. And I feel like when I used to play, this lines up. I think those games where I get to that level might take 20, 25 minutes. So, and I was like a regular.
It is surprising, but where are the people saying, no, I was the person? I mean, people film themselves doing everything now. Like, you know that there are people who are live streaming their Tetris matches trying to beat it.
Right. And so that someone would have put this up on their screen. So it doesn't, I mean, I have no choice but to believe it. It just seems unbelievable to me that no one did this in like a year after it came out.
It does seem weird. It does seem weird. How long do you think it took? Like, do you know how long he trained on it?
No.
Like how many hours a day he played Tetris? I don't either.
No, I didn't see how long he's been. Oh, it says here we go. He's been playing since he was 11 and typically plays for 3 to 5 hours per day.
Wow. That's crazy.
What do you do?
What do you do after that? So Tetris, such a simple game, right? Like there's no, like it's just kind of mind-numbing in a lot of ways.
It's a great game. It's really fun.
Oh, it's super
amazing
fun.
game.
But it's like you're not like critically thinking. You're not having to beat bad guys.
It's not like FIFA. It's not a FIFA game where you're having to strategically change things up all the time. You're just doing the same thing.
So you spend 3 hours a day doing this for 2 years. Like, what do you do next? I mean, do you stop playing it? Like, are you just done with Tetris? Yeah,
it's like when people had when they went to the moon, they came back and then there was nothing for them to do, so they got depressed.
Yeah,
maybe this was his moon mission, and now he's gonna be depressed.
It's like trying to run a sub-19 5K. I'm gonna be obsessed with it 3 hours a day.
And then once
I do it, I mean, what do I have to live for? You know, it's like, next up, Tetris
anyway.
2. There's a Tetris 2.
Is there? I don't know.
That's what Mr. Jeffrey says.
I remember Dr. Mario came out. That was supposed to be the Tetris 2. That was a terrible game.
Snake.
All right. I said, what about the parents? Because I mean, how could you let your kid play this 3 to 5 hours a day? That game, Tetris of all things.
Yeah.
But he dedicated the record-setting win to his father, Adam Gibson, who died last month. So that's very sad. Here's my one. Here's how I think it is possible that all these facts that I said about my own play are all consistent.
Completely wrong.
Once you get to minute 25 or whatever, what I was, level 130 something, the blocks are just falling as fast as they possibly can.
Right.
I mean, right. You can't perceive what you're just moving. So the fact that someone could go 15 or 20 more minutes at that point, even though it seems like it's only 1/3 farther in the game, to make it that many more, like I'm probably lasting 30 seconds once they're at that super high speed. Yeah. This guy's going for 20 minutes more. That's probably what's crazy. And maybe that's why no one has done this.
Do you think he's vegan?
So there you go. I don't know. He should be. Should up his game with that. He should read Plant-Based Athlete.
You know what I'm excited for?
What?
20 years from now, it's watching Where Is He Now episode on this guy. Yeah, I bet he's gonna solve something big. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't. So? Well, he might have the ability to focus on things and work hard and stuff. So maybe in that way he will. There were those couple retro like video game things that came out on Netflix, whatever, documentary things.
Uh-huh.
And I watched those a couple years ago, and they had like all the kids who won a bunch of the kids who won the gaming championships back in those days were like now returning to talk about stuff, and none of them had done anything as far as I could tell. They just went on gaming.
They just kept on gaming. Yeah. Well.
Anyway, there you go. There's your fun news for the day. All right, this is good. Into our weather report. I don't think I have any sound today. Ellery drained the computer again.
Ellery, come on. With it.
But now hopefully you can cue this up for us and we can actually get this interactive multimedia edition today.
I do. I have it.
Our Meat has a new ad out.
Commercial. All right, you want me to play it?
Yeah. Go for it.
Here we go. Can you hear it? No. Hold on.
Does the thought of running a mile?
There you go.
Hold on.
This, by the way, is the same guy. If you're listening and saw the previous, this is the same guy who was in those other Beyond Meat commercials.
And if you're watching on Instagram right now, head over to YouTube because you're not going to be able to hear it on Instagram. All right, here we go.
That's youtube.com/No Meat Athlete if you're on Instagram. All right, play it, Doug. Roll the tape.
Is reaching for your goals reaching its breaking point? Does the thought of running a mile send you running for the couch? I won! Does throwing weight make you want to throw in the towel? What if there was an easier way to be healthy? Well, now Heart Healthy is just a forklift away with Beyond. Plant-based, a good source of protein, zero sweat. Go Beyond! It's literally the least you can do.
All right.
All right.
What's your take?
I don't hate it as much as I thought I did. When I read that the slogan was "It's literally the least you can do," I thought it was for the environment, for the animals thing, and I was like, "That's a terrible thing. No one wants to hear that." And I still don't like that they said it at the end because it still is at least reminds you a little bit of that, and you wonder if that's also what they mean.
No, it's the least you can do. Like, you're not going to run. You're not going to do yoga. Right. Yeah. Like the least you can do for your health.
Yeah. And so I'm okay with that. It's good. I do wonder, like they're then assuming that no one else who just sees the commercial and thinks it's funny and then wants to try Beyond Meat. They're kind of aiming at the person who just hates working out, doesn't want to do anything, wants to beat Tetris with their time maybe. And that's all they want to do.
You cannot make fun of gamers.
I know. I'm not making fun. I was no.
Right. No, I disagree. It's like it gets it in your head that it's like a really easy choice to make something healthier. You see it, you're like, I'll do that. It's the least I can do. Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's not even just about like the not wanting to run or not wanting to take care of my health or whatever. It's just like oh, this is something really easy that I can do.
Right.
It will make it.
Sounds like a free health point, free gain. All you do, no loss, no sacrifice. Just get this, and then you get a little bit in the right direction. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's not the worst Beyond Meat ad we've ever seen for sure. So I kind of like it. Is it true though? Is it really true? Is the Beyond Meat question. Right? Is Beyond Meat a healthier choice than, especially if you're just an occasional meat eater, just eating the real thing? I don't know, because I don't think we're going to get to this today. We saw a headline today saying vegan dieters that don't eat ultra processed food are at risk of becoming protein deficient, based on a study, not just someone saying, "Hey, you're at risk."
Well, they said that's an argument to start eating more Beyond Meat. If you're vegan,
kind of, but then you're just eating junk. So I don't know. Just
I think it's a healthier choice. I'm going to stand by that. But I will say that my favorite part of the ad was a forklift away. I don't know why I've never heard that before. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
That was clever. You're right. All right, so there you go. There's your Beyond Meat ad. All in all, we like it. We're in favor of it.
2 thumbs up.
Up next, Emirates, the airline, they're adding new plant-based items to their already 300 strong vegan vault of recipes. So they have 300 things you can get. It's not all of those things are available everywhere, but you can get them in different lounges and different classes and different planes. There are totally 300 though that they are rotating around and doing. That's pretty amazing. They said there was a 40% passenger demand for vegan meals each year on year, which is you have to wonder if that's the result of them last year adding a whole lot of vegan meals, and now suddenly there's demand for them because they're there, so people are ordering them. It kind of seems like that could be the case because they served more than 450,000, up from 280,000 the year before, which sounds exactly like they just had more options, so people got it more. But that's fine, right? It doesn't mean people want 40% more vegan food. It just means that people will choose it if it's on the menu. Right. Yeah. It is great. You have to imagine they're also, I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but I think Emirates is kind of expensive to fly on. It's certainly not a budget airline. So they are people who have power, maybe. And I think that's good, right? I mean, it's also good to see it in other people's hands or other people wanting vegan food. But I don't know, if movers and shakers are wanting the vegan food, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, they've got new plant-based snacks, fruit muffins, vegan pizza, desserts like chocolate pecan cake, pistachio raspberry, and raspberry tonka cake.
So I thought this was cool at first, but then when I saw the 300 strong vegan vault of recipes, that seems a little excessive. Like, why not just make 10 that are really good that everybody wants, instead of adding to 300, unless they're like counting pretzels as part of the vegan vault of recipes.
They're probably counting everything. Yeah, you're right. That is sort of seems like a bad business idea.
It seems kind of weird. Yeah. All right. What else we got?
It's good. Oatly, everyone's favorite company, not known for their advertising though. They have a new distribution agreement with the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaves. You know this place, Doug? I kind of feel like it's like a mall coffee shop, but I'm not sure. It seems familiar. I can sort of hear a logo. Anyway, they have 180 cafes in the United States.
Yeah.
They have 1,094 globally. And Oatly is now has a limited time offering in collaboration with them. It's the vanilla spiced oat latte. Chase away the winter chills, they say. That's what it's designed for. So that's kind of cool. If you happen to be in a mall, which I think malls are coming back. I think physical mall has bounced back from the death. Yeah. I mean, it's a stat. People are going to malls again. So if you're there, and if I'm right that the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf goes in malls. Then...
Kate says it's a SoCal chain.
Oh, okay.
So you might be wrong.
So maybe not the mall place. All right, and this one is interesting news. Kellogg Company, WK Kellogg Company, has a new cereal brand for 2024. It's called Eat Your Mouth Off, and it is vegan. They say 100% plant-based on them, but it actually, in this case, means fully vegan. Puff cereal aimed at millennials and Gen Z, two flavors, fruity and chocolate. The boxes look crazy, like big, bright color design. It's MTV. I'm surprised it's not for my generation, because it looks like MTV did in 1982. So
is that coming back, that style?
I'm sure it is. Retro kids like retro stuff. The new kids like retro things. Anyway, we did look up the. It has 0 added sugar, which was eye raising to me. I thought, how could they make a sugar that looks like that and has Zun? Well, it turns out it has sucralose and stevia and pea protein and soy protein isolate and something. And there's nothing good in it. It's eating a Beyond Burger in the form of cereal, basically, with artificial sweetener added to it. So no good health benefit to be had from getting this, but I guess it's cool that it's vegan. And finally, Stakeholder Foods. Doug has finally done it. They've created the world's first plant-based 3D printed eel. We knew it was only a matter of time till that was achieved, and now it is. So this year, hopefully, we can get some 3D printed eel, plant-based, of course. Unique combination of materials, precise layering technique, proprietary technology, all the right phrases here. Yeah, that's it. You can get a plant-based eel if you want.
3D printed. Can't wait for that to be in my house. Never have to cook again.
What, the printer or the eel?
The printer.
The printer. Okay.
Yeah,
that would be something if we all had that. If we could just print any animal we wanted in plant-based form, that'd be pretty cool.
or vegetable. Doesn't have to be animal. Could be a vegetable we want.
I didn't know people really eat eels. I just figured eel was like a gross sea snake.
Yeah, people eat eels. That's a thing.
Yeah, I see that. They're popular in Chinese cuisine, prepared in many different ways. All right. So here we got. This is we mentioned Oatly and their thing with that tea coffee company. Dunkin' Donuts, though, we love lawsuits on this show, and here's a new one that is in the plant-based realm. Veg News has it as, could this lawsuit against Dunkin' finally end vegan milk surcharges? Experts weigh in. New class action lawsuit challenges the legality of Dunkin' charging extra for vegan milk. The story is, this is in the Northern District of California. I'm not sure what that is. It's class action lawsuit. They're representing 10 plaintiffs with lactose intolerance and milk allergies, and they're saying that this upcharging for the plant milk, violates the Americans with Disabilities Act and other state-level anti-discrimination laws. And so they go on basically to say that, especially for the fact that Dunkin' is profiting from this when they don't upcharge for the regular milk swaps, like from 2% to skim or whole or whatever, that's all free. But if you want plant-based, you're going to pay between, you're going to pay between 50 cents and $2.15 added on, up to an average drink cost of $3.25. So that's a giant portion of the cost that you're potentially paying for that plant-based milk. And if you're lactose intolerant, then I guess you could say you're being discriminated against if you have to pay for that. So I can imagine I know where you're going to come out on this one, Doug. But what do you think?
You can imagine what?
I know where you're going to come out on this one.
Interesting. I hate it. I think it's terrible. Is that what you were thinking?
No, I thought you were going to be in favor of this. I thought you were going to say, yeah, you shouldn't have to pay more for milk if you're lactose intolerant.
No, I think this is terrible. I think this is a really bad approach to getting rid of the surcharge. I of course am very anti the surcharge.
Yeah.
Right. But not for this reason. Does this mean that everyone has to now have like gluten-free muffins that, for celiacs and the charge is the same price, or or like nut-free, I don't know, nut-free drinks,
or the Canadian
cookies.
Wildlife firefighters need to start having vegan meals for their vegan people.
Well, I feel a little differently about that one because they're being fed that versus this is a choice you're making to go support Dunkin' and go buy this drink. Like,
right.
I think this is a terrible way to push for the ending of the surcharge. I would love to hear what other people think, but I read this and it actually kind of made me like hyped up. Angry.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about the part that said, and I don't know if this is true or if I interpreted this correctly, but it said 80% of African Americans and 90% of Asian Americans, maybe not even Americans, just Africans and Asians, are lactose intolerant. Is that correct? That stat?
I have heard
PETA
that
chimed in
several times before.
PETA chimed in with that and said that when you add that onto this, it's even worse of a discriminatory thing.
Right.
And I thought you'd be all about that. I don't know. Just thought this was going to be up your alley.
I don't think so. No, I just don't. I mean, I don't think it's discriminatory for a restaurant to serve meat. You know, I don't think it's discriminatory for a restaurant to serve only meat or to have a vegetarian dish. Like does that mean that the upcharge for a Beyond Burger will now go away? Like, of course, I would love for that to be the case. Or like every pizza joint that, you know, that like, I'm so grateful that a lot of our local pizza joints have vegan cheese and it costs $1 more, but I'm probably one of the few people who actually order it. And so for them to have it fresh in stock, like that's going to be cost a little bit more money. And I'm okay with that, you know, because I won't, I don't know. I think this is as Mr. Jeffrey says, this is a waste of resources. I think so too. I can't imagine that this would actually win. They seem confident, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought the same thing. So I agree with you here, and I'm surprised. I thought we were gonna have a little, typical standard disagreement debate here, but we're not. I'm with you. Well, Aaron told me about the story, and I said, well, that's silly. Like, does that? I basically said what you said. Like, does that mean every place has to serve stuff to accommodate for every possible dietary intolerance? And she said no, but if they have the milk already, they shouldn't be allowed to charge for it. And I don't know about shouldn't be allowed, right? That's maybe she didn't say those exact words, but that's capitalism generally. You can charge what you want for stuff. You can upcharge for things.
I mean, different wines cost different things for them to buy it. Different wines cost different things. I know that that's removing the discrimination thing, but like, you know, if that oat milk costs more for them to buy it, then like, I would make sense that they would want to charge a little bit more for it.
Right. So after I said that or thought that, then I thought, but how can they be? I mean, don't people who organize class action lawsuits typically, do it based on something that might actually win? Like it just seems like if you're and my assessment here is correct, then there's no chance this wins. It's just dumb. But somebody thinks it's not. Somebody thinks they might win it.
They should sue the government for subsidizing the dairy industry. That's what they should do.
Yeah.
That's why milk's so cheap, right?
Right. All right. So anyway, who knows? This looks like this probably will not be the end of milk surcharges, but somebody's trying. I give them that.
I mean, all right. Look, don't get me wrong. I would love for surcharges to go down. I think it would encourage people to get the plant-based option more often and plant-based milk more often. And of course, it would mean that I would save a little bit of money. So, of course I would want that, but this does not seem the right way to do it. And it looks like from the comments that most people tend to agree.
Everyone's agreeing. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Aaron Merkel says it's not discrimination. It's that the cost is unfairly high. But I think it's okay for businesses to charge unfair amounts, typically, unless they're like a business that is getting, special treatment from the government. But generally,
but what if we just instead encouraged like Dunkin to reevaluate their upcharge? Instead of $3.25 for an extra drink or $2.15 for an extra drink, like maybe it probably only costs them about 10 more cents. So like maybe make that a little bit more fair. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. A lot of comments here. This is interesting. The Garuda Legends story keeps getting more interesting to me. Garuda Legends is a truck driver. I did not know that. Or maybe it used to be. I don't know. He used to drink double shot coffee mixed with this is back to the coffee tea thing, mixed with 2 scoops of powder concentrated green tea. And that sounds like a Panera Bread charged lemonade recipe, asking for a heart attack. But it makes their adrenaline glands hurt. So that's interesting. And then just a lot of good stuff. I mean, good. I like the conversation. Very good.
While you're over there commenting on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the video.
Yeah, please do that.
That'll help. We're trying to drive more traffic to YouTube, so help us out.
We are. And if you're on the compliment email list, you probably got a Plant-Based Morning Show newsletter, right? You got Matt Frazier's 3 things email.
That's
that
right.
Included links to this Plant-Based Morning Show. So if you're not on there, go to lovecompliment.com, get on the list, and you can get extra bonus email content that goes with this show.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. What else, Doug? So it's a little early, but I don't know. It just when I was combing through the things today, it was just a bunch of negativity. about the vegan diet. And I think a lot of it's legit, like this thing about this Brazil study, which is not yet peer reviewed, so you can't put too much stock in it yet. But it pointed out the vegans who stay away from ultra processed foods are, I think, much more likely to have protein deficiency. I don't understand protein deficiency because this thing, like everyone said, it used to be always said, and I think still is said a lot of times by vegans, that no one who's not calorie deficient is protein deficient. Like it just doesn't really exist. On the other hand, if you get blood tests, they do measure your protein, and you can get low protein levels in your blood. That happens, not that rarely. So I don't really understand the whole when people talk about actual deficiency in protein. If
what does that
really
mean?
Much of a real thing. I don't know. I think perhaps it means you're not reaching the government recommended levels. But that's different from like your body's actually exhibiting, some sort of symptoms of a deficiency.
Right.
So I don't really know that, honestly. It seems like we should know that. I mean, but I don't think most people do.
Yeah.
It's just such a common.
You wrote a book, man.
Argument.
You should know that stuff.
I should. You're right. But I know what the government levels are. I don't know how easy they are to hit them.
How does what would a symptom of protein deficiency look like? I wonder.
I mean, there's the same stuff that happens if you have supposedly like a vitamin D deficiency, I think, and maybe a lot of the deficiencies do the same thing. They give you brittle fingernails, your hair is brittle, falls out, you don't heal fast, just all that stuff.
That's protein related. The nails.
Protein has, we used to have an article called 5 Warning Signs You're Not Getting Enough Protein or something. Took it down eventually because it felt like it was fear mongering, so it didn't like it. But at some point I did know what they were, and I'm pretty sure nails was one of them. Anyway, so there's that. There's a big long article about.
So here's a question. All right, so let's talk about that a little bit more. I haven't dove into the study. I read the abstract. But if consuming less ultra processed food is associated with an inadequate protein intake among vegan eaters, does that make you feel a little bit different about some levels of like ultra processed meat? For your standard vegan, like obviously somebody who's paying a lot of attention, eating a lot of beans, maybe taking complement protein, that they probably don't need it. But for your like standard vegan who's having a couple bean dishes a week and maybe a couple ultra processed plant meats, like, does that make you feel any different about it?
Yeah, it kind of does. And it actually got me thinking about this exact thing. Like that person versus the person who wants to achieve absolute optimal health. They're different cases. The person who wants absolute optimal health probably shouldn't eat any of that stuff, and they should probably get that protein from somewhere else. You mentioned focusing really a lot on beans. I guess complement protein, although that's also an added in sort of food. So that, I don't know what category you put that in. But yeah, I've been thinking about with my son because he plays soccer and he's hitting that age when some kids are getting way bigger, way faster, and that has to do with puberty, of course. But it makes me think about his diet a lot. And he's that person, right? He doesn't like beans, so he only eats them when we can kind of effectively mix them into the meal without them being noticed. And he eats like a kid, right? He still eats plenty of vegetables because we eat vegetables. But I thought like maybe he should eat more of that stuff. Like maybe we should have him eat that fairly often.
What is his like if he's not eating beans? What is his standard protein?
I mean, he'll eat tofu. So tofu is his beans and his protein. So that's a big source of it, of course. We get like the protein pastas and things like that. He'll drink protein drinks like Huel or complement protein. He'll have those. So yeah, I mean those are his protein source. And seitan and all that, which is not has a high number, but it's not really that bioavailable. So that's exactly why when he does eat these things, which is not that rarely, honestly, he eats them much more often than anybody else. I'm generally kind of feel good about it. I feel like, wow, he's getting a high protein meal. But I don't know. It's always in the back of my mind, like, yeah, but what's that going to do to him when he's 30 and 40 and 50 if he ate that for 15 years of his life? It wouldn't be that good. So I still don't know. It's definitely a conflict kind of thing, but stuff like this makes me think that is maybe the right way to think about it. That a little bit of that is probably a good thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about an omnivore who is eating fairly healthy, right? They're eating some vegetables. They're eating maybe a couple of vegetarian dishes a week, maybe, but they're not like getting chicken nuggets 5 nights a week. 7 nights a week, but they might get them 1 or 2 nights a week, and kind of be this like ultra processed meat. And they can live a healthy life. They can grow and develop and be fairly healthy, right? And if that's kind of the approach that we take, especially with the girls. We probably have nuggets once a week, or the kids have nuggets once a week, and they devour them. And honestly, like vegan nuggets, and they devour them. And and kind of like you, I kind of feel good about it because they're getting a lot of food and and a lot of protein in that. And we're not doing it all the time because most of the time they're eating beans and tofu and tempeh and that kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That is, that's the same way we are.
But pretzels, it's a no-no.
The pretzels are a no-no. Yesterday, Ellie mixed up mustard, like yellow mustard, maple syrup, and raspberries, and mashed it all together. And made this raspberry honey mustard flavor because it was maple syrup pretzel dip, and it was delicious. It was a really good thing. I even
raspberry and mustard.
Yeah, so I told her about it because I used to have it as a kid. My friend's mom always had it. It was like from some fancy foods place, and it was this raspberry honey mustard. So I said, try to make that with what we have, and she did. And then I started eating pretzels because it was just good. Great tip. So
if you get sick next week, we know why. You come down with the flu.
That'll be the proof.
That'll be.
Yeah.
That's funny. I've never heard of that. Raspberry honey mustard. Interesting.
It is. It's good. The raspberry, you wouldn't think you need the raspberry. It seems like the sweet and the mustard is already enough of a little balance in there.
Mm-hmm.
But you, of all people, that would appreciate that, right? Add an extra flavor. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Blend it in. Hey, vegan honey. I saw it at another restaurant the other day in a cocktail. Like
and what is it?
I think it's just oh gosh, I don't remember. I can't remember what I can't remember. I asked the first time I saw it, I asked what it was, and it was just really concentrated maple syrup and with like some like orange zest or something like that in there. It's something fruit like a flowery flavor in there, but then just super contrasted. Like they just boiled it down. It was so good. And as someone who hasn't tasted like a spoonful of honey in a really long time, it tasted exactly like that.
Wow, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And not even the high, because someone's making high tech on it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was actually. Apple juice or something like that.
Okay. And they boil that down. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good to know. All right, good. Well, I think that's good. I mean, like I said, there was more negative stuff. It's just never fun to go too deeply into those things. Not that we shouldn't consider them like we just did, but with the one thing. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe later this week we'll get into why I won't be going vegan this Veganuary if we decide we need to. It's actually an interesting article. It's not just like a total like hit piece on vegan diets.
No, I thought it was pretty well done. You can counter it.
We make it there. Yeah,
it's every argument we make, but
yeah.
All
right.
Yeah, thanks. Great numbers today, live, and lots of chatter. So thanks everybody for showing up.
Definitely. All right, I'm just looking at comments one more time because I didn't really look at them that much today. Guru Legends, it mixes it up. I love the Guru Legends comments. People start arguing back and forth a little bit, and it's just good. I like it. Prevents it from being an echo chamber, which I said I do not like when it is that. So good. Good conversation, everyone. Anything else, Doug, before we end this Tuesday show and get ready for Wednesday? Start prepping for tomorrow.
I don't think so. Don't forget to head to lovecompliment.com. Take advantage of the buy two, get one free. Try something new. Mm-hmm. For all the gut nurture lovers out there, it will be shipping this week, I think. So go ahead and get yourself a bunch of gut nurture.
All right, good.
Yep.
Do it.
All right.
And if you're still on YouTube, and a lot of people are on YouTube, get over there, hit the like button, please. It helps us like, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, comment, all those things. It's helpful. We don't ask for it that much, but if you're there anyway, why not? This video should have 30 likes on it minimum.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.